Hello and welcome to another AIC Productions video. As you can see, I am working on the wife's car. I mentioned doing this work a little while ago in another video, so I wanted to follow up. I've already done this side. It is just about complete. There's two things I need left to do on it, but I'm going to finish up the other side first. These are the parts I'm replacing. It's the old strut. Now I'm replacing the whole thing. I got some Monroe quick struts. And I'm replacing the control arm because these bushings are toast. I can almost wiggle it off with my hand. I won't do it now because it's too awkward to hold with just one hand. And this one's pretty perished as well. Being in Arizona, rubber bits wear out pretty quick. It's just so hot and dry here. I actually don't think the shocks themselves are bad, but it's so much work to get in and do this. And you have to take this out to get this out. I'm just doing it all at once. So I'm doing the front now, and I'll be coming back and doing the rear. Just want to show you the tools that I'm using to do the work so that you have an idea of what you need. Throwing these down here. So I did a bunch of work last night, and now I'm coming back to it in the morning. You need an 18 mil, or this is a 15 mil socket. You need an 18 mil wrench. Now I highly recommend getting one of these that has an angle. Will make the job a lot easier. I'll show you that here in a moment. You need an 18 mil socket. You need a 19. This is for the lug nuts and one other thing. Don't need the 17. I just have it out because I wasn't sure what size I needed. You need something to get the axle nut off. 21 mil socket, 21 mil wrench, an 11 mil wrench, a 24 mil wrench, and there's a 10 mil wrench as well, or not wrench, socket. There it is. It's on the end of that. So let me go through and show you kind of where you use these different pieces. Oh, and the hammer. Always need a dead blow hammer. You know, and the cardboard. The cardboard's required because it's like 40 degrees outside and the ground's cold. Anyways, so obviously, so to do this job, one tip I'll definitely make is you'll need to take the axle out of the hub. It's ridiculous that you have to do that to replace a shock. But if you don't, you have to drop this down so far you'll actually disengage the axle and break your axle. So you want to take your axle out so that you don't ruin your axle. This is where you use the 10 mil and 21 mil wrench. So what I did is I just put the 10 mil socket on here and spun it to tighten it, which then backed off the 21 mil nut. Down here, those two, the top is the 18 and what's underneath is a 15. Then for this side, the nuts up underneath here is a 18 mil. That's where you use the 18 mil socket. Down here, this is the next one I'm going to do. This is the 24 and the 11 inch to get that off. This is 21 mil to loosen this. And what you do is you get the control arm off. You have to take it off to be able to drop this down far enough. You have to at least get it off the ball joint. You take that off, which you then have to take the rest of it off. Just get it out of the way. Then you can drop this down far enough to take this shock out of this joint here. So it's a big pain. You're going to need something to hold this up so you don't break your brake lines. Probably actually wouldn't be a bad idea to take the caliper off. I didn't. I've been using my jack underneath it just gently to hold it up, and that's been working for me. At least it did for the other side. The ball joints are on the new ones. They're Moog or Moog, however you pronounce that, and they are serviceable. So my grease gun was out of grease, so I had to get some new grease, and then some Loctite to put this nut back on and have it be locked, because they have Loctite on them already, so I need to reapply that. So that's the work I'm doing this morning. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comment section down below. I'll do my best to answer that, but this job is a much bigger pain than it should be. I've never had shocks, which should be a fairly straightforward and easy job, be quite as big of a pain as this has been so far. So, but fortunately it is fairly simple tools. Had to run to the store this morning and buy shop towels. I used my last one last night. I know I have Loctite somewhere, or thread locker, couldn't find it, and then my grease gun was out of grease. And I thought I had another one, didn't. Hate that, I hate getting into a project, and I should have checked, that's on me. Should have checked before I started. Oh, and the most important tool, my JBL Flip 4. Love this speaker. This is an excellent Bluetooth speaker. Anyways, thanks for watching. I know I'm not showing you the actual work, but it's usually, for me, the most important thing is just knowing what tools you need. So, a screwdriver for a pry, but that's just a known for any projects. You always should have a pry bar. Anyways, thanks for watching again. Hope you have an amazing day.